Hello students. In the previous chapter we have discussed about the private sector organization and simply private sector organization means private sector. Emphasize on the word private sector. Okay, what we have learned in that previous was private sector. Okay, private sector, don't confuse it with private limited company. Private limited company is a part of private sector organization. Okay, private sector organization includes sole proprietorship, partnership, joint Hindu business family form of business, then cooperative society, then joint stock companies. And joint stock company is divided between two parts, that is your private company and public limited company, and the another form is your one person company. Okay, so these all comes under the head private sector enterprises. Private sector enterprises are those enterprises which are not owned and managed by government in any form. Yes, legal things are there, but legal things do not control and manages the company. That legal formalities we have to follow. Okay, so in this chapter we will be discussing about the private sector and the public sector enterprises and multinational companies. We will be discussing about the multinational companies also, and what are the various types of public sector enterprises in India, that we will also discuss. Okay, so listen it very carefully. As we know that Indian economy is mixed economy. Mixed economy means where both privately owned and government owned business enterprises exist. So Indian economy therefore can be divided into two sectors, that is your private sector and public sector. Public sector, as I have already discussed with you, that public sector private sector means all those type of organization which is not owned and managed by the government. For example, Britannia Industries, Videocon Industries, Reliance Limited, Reliance Industries Limited, Tisco, ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank, Ultratech Cement, Hero Motocorp. These all are the examples of that type of Gupta and Sons grocery store. These all are the organizations which are not managed by the, these all are the examples, few examples of private sector organization. These all are not controlled and managed and also operated by the government organization. So what are the government organizations, or in another word we will be discussing with the public sector enterprises. There are the enterprises which are owned, managed and controlled by the government. These enterprises may be either partly or wholly organized, wholly controlled and managed. Partly means only few portions are public and that is owned by the government, and others are owned by the private players. Okay, so for example we can go for the example LIC, Life Insurance Corporation of India, State Bank of India, Indian Railways, ICAI, Institute of Chartered Accountants in India, like that. These are the organizations which came into existence either by the special act of parliament or are set up by the government organization as per the Companies Act. Okay, so there are many examples like that. Okay, so the form of organizations we now have to discuss here. The classification is given like Indian economy, then Indian economy is divided into public sector and private sector. Private sector that we have already discussed is your sole proprietorship, that we have already discussed in the last chapter, chapter number 2. Then partnership, then joint Hindu family business, then cooperative society, then company. Company is divided between two parts, public limited and private limited. Don't confuse it with public sector and private sector. Many of the students gets confused. Okay, so remember all these things. And next is your multinational corporations, that also we will be discussing in this chapter. But here public sector public sector is divided into three types. Number one is departmental undertakings, number two statutory corporations, and number three government companies. So we will be going in detail with each and every type of public sector company. Okay, understood? Okay, now we will be moving to the first part, that is your departmental undertaking. Departmental undertaking is basically the oldest form of organization and most traditional form of public sector enterprises. These enterprises are established by the different departments of the ministry, like Indian Railways, that comes under the Ministry of Railway, and it is managed by the minister, railway minister. In the same manner, there are the other departments, and these are directly managed by the government. Okay, directly managed by the government and its employees. These type of undertakings may be central undertaking or state undertaking. What are the various features? For example, railway, I have already told you, like railway, they have also mentioned here, railway is, and Indian Post and Service Department. Then these are those type of departments are directly controlled by the government, which either require heavy investment or play utmost important role, like atomic energy, or where the complete control of government is very much necessary, or the enterprises where the control is necessary, like a public distribution system. These all are the sources which are very important for the country. These are owned and managed by the government directly. Whosoever will be in power, they will be managing that. Okay, so what are the various features of this type of company, this type of organization? The first feature is they are directly financed by the government. Any income or expenses will be directly transferred to government's treasury or government's budget. If you have seen any of the government budget, so they are dividing budgets for the various ministries. So the expenses will be paid by the government from its treasury, and any revenue earned by these type of organizations will be transferred to government treasury. Okay, these industries or these organizations are subject to accounting and audit control applicable to other government activities. Means they are subject to accounting and audit controls. Then they are directly controlled by the ministry, like railway minister we have, then civil aviation minister we are having, like that. Okay, these enterprises are part of government only. And with the help of IAS officers, these are managed. Okay, there is no separate entity distinct from the government. Whosoever will be in the power, they will be responsible for any mishappening. Okay, and the last one is these enterprises can be sued in the same way as a case can be filed against the government. Okay, so these all are the things, these all are the features of the government. What are the various merits? What are the various merits? This gives effective control over the operation. Effective control over the operation. Parliament facilitates effective control over their operation. Number one. Number two, it ensures high degree of public accountability. They all are responsible to the public. Okay. Number three, it is the source of income for government. It is a source of income for government. And the last one is, where the national security is concerned, this form of organization is very suitable. Like we have already discussed about atomic energy, that is of national security. Army, these all are owned and controlled by the government only. Okay, what are the various limitations? Limitations, they don't take any prompt decision, fail to operate it smoothly, because it is not always necessary that they are having the managerial abilities, or they are not willing to take it as take it seriously to do all these things. They take it as a for granted way. Okay, next, number two is lack of freedom reduces the flexibility and efficiency of the undertaking. Lack of freedom, staffs are not given, staff or the workers in that department are not given that much of the freedom to take decisions. Over cautious and conservative approval does not allow them to take risky ventures. Government sector enterprises do not take any risky projects or ventures. So this is also a problem. Then red tapeism in day-to-day operation, that delays the decision, delayed decision making. Then political interferences, because political parties are involved through ministry. So these all are the demerits of public, not public, departmental undertaking. Once again, departmental undertakings are owned and managed with the help of Indian Administrative Services, that is IAS, under the observation of ministers, and it directly comes under ministries. The best example you have to remember is Indian Railways, that comes under Ministry of Railway. Ministry of Railway. Okay. Okay, the next type of public sector organization is your statutory corporations. These are public enterprises. Statutory corporations are public enterprises that came into existence by an act of parliament, by a special act of parliament. Okay, and these are a corporate body created by legislature with defined power and is financially independent, with a clear control over specified areas or a particular type of commercial activities. These are not directly managed by the government or by any of the political party in power. Okay, the basic difference is that, for example, example of statutory corporations are like LIC, Life Insurance Corporations, like IRDA, Insurance Regulatory Development Authority, then SEBI, Security Exchange Board of India, then ICAI, Institute of Chartered Accountants in India. These all are the organization. Example of the organization are the example of statutory corporations. These came into existence. These organizations came into existence due to a specific power of or by the special act of Parliament. And the one of the most important thing is these organizations are not directly controlled by any of the ministry. There is no ministry for LIC, no ministry for IRDA, no ministry for SEBI. So they are independent. They are independent of the government. They are independent of the government. Okay. So the next part is merits. Statutory corporations, it is a feature that it is formed by an act of Parliament. Okay. Number 2, it is wholly owned by state or center. Center means at national level or state means at state level. Statutory corporation is a body corporate and it is a separate legal entity. These type of organization is having separate legal entity. For example, LIC can sue any person and any person can sue LIC. These type of organizations are independently financed. It obtain funds from government and pays back to the government. It has the authority to use its revenue. It is not like that the governments want to do like this, so these type of organization have to work according to the government. No. A statutory corporation is not subject to the same accounting and audit procedures. Means the accounting and auditing procedure that was being followed in that departmental undertaking, the same type will not be followed in statutory corporations. And the employees of these enterprises are not government or civil servants, are not governed by the government rules and regulations. Its employees are governed by its own provisions. Merits. What are the various merits? It has got some operational independency or operational flexibility is available. Number 2, since fund is not coming from the government central budget, so the government cannot interfere in their financial matter. Number 3, they are autonomous body, so their powers are, so the policies and powers are given within a limit through the ministry, through a particular ministry. And the last one is statutory corporation is a valuable instrument for economic development. Like it has the power of government also and public also. It is the midway. It is a midway of government organization and private. Okay. So the limitations: statutory corporation does not enjoy, it enjoys the operational flexibility as compared to departmental undertaking, but not as the other companies, private companies are having, or other type of private sector enterprises are having. Okay. Number 2 is government and political interference is always there. Major decisions can be taken by the government. Just like now in insurance, that in general insurance, medical insurance, prior to COVID-19 it was not included, and the regulatory authority in insurance sector is IRDA. The regulatory sector is IRDA. So government announced that the COVID-19 will be considered in that medical insurance. After that, so the IRDA will have to do like that. So there is some sort of operational flexibility, but not at all. Where there is dealing with the public, it leads to the high corruption. Corruption level is very much high. Corruption level is very much high, and the government has the practice of appointing advisor to the corporation board. So the thing is that yes, it is established by an special provision of parliament, but and even it has some benefits over departmental undertaking, even though it suffers from lot of political interference and operational inefficiency. Okay, the next is your government company. Next type of the organization, the next type of public sector organization is your government company. Public sector enterprise is a government company. Government company is just like any other company which is formed under any of the Companies Act, either 2013 or any act prior to that 2013. The simple thing is, government company, in government company, capital is introduced by the government. A government company can be any company in which the paid up share capital is paid up 51% or more. Share are held by central government or state government or by both together. So like this, we can say like this. So it has to so the feature of the for example of government companies: State Bank of India, Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited, IRCTC, then Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, then LIC Housing Finance Limited, Housing Finance, Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited, BPCL, then Indian Oil Corporation Limited, IOC. In all these things, either 51% of the, that is majority of the shares are being held by the government. If in any of the company the majority of the shares are held by the government, that will be known as your government company. Okay, a company, this type of company can file a suit in the court of law against any third party or can be sued. These type of organization can work as a separate legal entity, can buy property, can sell property in its own name. The management of the company is regulated by the provisions of Companies Act like any other public company. So the only one difference that we need to understand is government organization, government companies are those companies where 51% or more than 51% shares are being held by the government, nothing else. Okay, these companies are exempt from accounting and audit rules and regulations which are for the private companies, private sector companies. Okay, merits: government company can be established by fulfilling the requirements of Companies Act. A separate act of parliament is not required. It is separate legal entity from that of the government. State Bank of India is different from the government of India. It enjoys all the autonomy in the management decision. It can appoint anyone, it can fire anyone, like that. These companies are providing services. The objective of department, that is government organization, is to provide services, goods and services at the reasonable prices. For example, if you have to open a bank account in private bank or in public sector bank? In private bank you have to maintain a minimum of 10,000 or 20,000, but in government bank you can avail all those services at the cheaper rate. You have to only maintain 1,000 or 3,000 depending upon the nature of the account. Okay, limitations. Since it is a government body, government is the only shareholder, so Companies Act also do not have that much of the relevance. Okay, it evades the constitutional responsibilities. It is not directly answerable in the parliament like departmental undertaking. The government being the sole holder of the shares, management and administration can be done or rest in the hands of government only. Okay, so till this point we have discussed all these things. Now we will be moving to some other topic in the next class, that is the changing role of public sector enterprises, how the role of public sector enterprises was there 50 years ago and how it is now. Okay, so in the next video we will be discussing about all these things. Till then, go through these videos,